want to kill myself. Kill me now. I literally want to die. I hear these words around me each and every day by friends, family, and classmates. I hear these words with a different ear than many other teens hear these words. I hear these words knowing the immense impact suicide has on one's life. I'm 16, and last year I lost my 2 closest friends to suicide. Along with this, I've struggled immensely with my own suicidal thoughts and my own levels of deep, dark depression. Each time these words are thrown around, I am brought back to that life-shattering car ride when my mom told me Peyton killed herself. Or the time I sat on the floor screaming, why me? Why did I have to lose another friend after I heard the news about Beata's death? These words are thrown around casually, not knowing the horrors they may cause for individuals, including myself. When you think of depression, what do you see? Is it a stick-thin girl, a dressed-in-black cutter? These individuals could easily be depressed, but the bubbly, smiling person you see before you today is also very depressed. I vividly remember driving a car with my mom and her commenting on how that girl must be so depressed, purely because of her outfit choices and the way she carried herself. But so am I said astonished, so am I. And yet no one would think of the person that I am to be someone that's dealing with depression. Peyton killed herself October 31st of last year. She was an amazing cross-country runner, an avid Model UN competitor, a great mentor for younger kids, and the best friend I could ever ask for. She had a radiating smile that always managed to brighten the mood. This helped save me. Nobody thought of Peyton to be depressed, let alone suicidal. When people thought of Peyton, they thought of her incredible positivity, her amazing enthusiasm, and her unwavering love and support. Nobody thought of someone that was kept up brutally with insomnia or someone that could take their own life. Beata had similar talents of being able to brighten the mood. Her emanating positivity made everyone fall in love with her immediately. This is what I experienced. She wasn't someone to walk around dark, sullen, and gloomy. She was someone to find something beautiful in each and every day. My friends do not fit into societal standards of depression. Everyone has their own personal story with their own levels of depth. I suffer from depression. I suffer from depression. Say it out loud, address it, smash the stigma because it's a real issue that's not going anywhere. This is what Peyton made me do. She made me address the fact that I was mentally ill and needed help urgently. On a spring Sunday night, I brutally cut myself with a buy local pin, leaving ragged red markings on my left forearm. My parents saw these markings and asked what they were. A little mishap in a thorn bush, I responded. After this, the conversation ended. Because obviously their sweet Julia was rummaging around on a thorn bush on a Sunday night, right? No, they're oblivious to the obvious truth, that their sweet Julia was very depressed and purposely harming herself. On Monday, Peyton saw these markings and asked what they were. A little mishap in a thorn bush, I responded. This lie didn't go too well with her, though. She knew then that I was in a very bad mental place. She completely put me under her wing and gave me unfaltering love and support. On Tuesday, I had a doctor's appointment to get a TB shot. TB shots are injected directly into your left forearm, and let me remind you, this is exactly where those red markings were still very apparent. When I walked into the hospital, I was nervous of what the nurse would say, of what they would say about my markings on my arms, about what they would say about my health, and what they would say to my parents. The nurse entered, rolled up my sleeve, injected the needle, said goodbye, and left, with no mention of the fact that a girl sitting before her so obviously was purposely harming herself. Although I was nervous of what the nurse would say about the markings on my arms, part of me needed her to say something because it was to the point where I needed more intervention. The fact that there was no mention of the markings on my arms made me crawl even deeper into myself and become even more depressed. This sent Peyton into a rage, though. She was so mad that they would be so idiotic and say nothing about the markings on my arm. Peyton was my complete support mechanism. She gave me unfaltering love and support. This is a lot of what our friendship was based off of. Peyton made me speak about my depression. Mental illness is a silent epidemic. Although 1 in 5 teens suffer from some sort of mental illness, it is completely pushed under the rug and we do not address it. We talk about broken bones and we talk about headaches, but the mere thought of talking about mental illness makes people run far and fast. Last spring, I wanted to kill myself, but I was done being silent. I told my parents and they brought me to the hospital. They saved me. I saved myself purely because I could speak about my depression. I was able to climb. I was able to climb out of that hole and find the beauty that's still out there in this crazy world purely because I could speak about my depression. This is a message I want to spread far and wide. Because of this, I created a project I call the Yellow Tulip Project, which is meant to smash the stigma associated with mental illness and try to bring hope and light into people's lives. It is meant to remind people that even in the hardest and darkest of times, hope still really is out there. Peyton's favorite color was yellow, and Beata's favorite flower was a tulip, so for me, it is a perfect combination of my friends' lives. Part of the project is planting Hope Gardens, which is a community gathering while continuing to smash the stigma with mental illness while planting yellow tulip bulbs into the cold ground. In the fall, we planted Hope Gardens at hospitals, schools, and communities all over New England. Beata and Peyton put so much of their love and energy into making people feel supported and cherished. I believe that through this project, their legacy can continue on. I'm a 16-year-old girl who lost my two closest friends to suicide. I'm a 16-year-old girl who's a passionate musician, artist, worker, and scientist. I'm depressed, but today I'm healthy. I want to kill myself. Kill me now, I literally want to die. Please just think before you speak. Thank you.